Happy Privacy Day 2021, one of my favorite days of the year because we really get to look at all things related to privacy and security. So this is Jordan Fischer. I'm the Global Privacy Team Lead here at Beckage, and I'm really excited to give you my two core predictions, looking forward into 2021. So the first is that I think we're going to continue to see the evolution and the creation of more data privacy regulations, which for many of you, you're going to be thinking, oh no, not more. Well, unfortunately, the strong GDPR effect, which is what we're calling it, pushing out data privacy across the globe is just going to continue to grow in the coming year. So we're seeing more and more regions, countries that are adopting very similar GDPR-like legislation or their own unique twist on data privacy. And we're also seeing regions like Canada, Australia, Japan, et cetera, that are updating their data privacy regulations, really to bring them more into modern era or to really mesh them better with things that we're seeing out of the European Union under the GDPR. So my top prediction in that way is that if you are not currently paying attention to what's going on internationally, it's really something that you should be mindful of. You should be aware of what's going on, because most likely in 2021, you're going to have to at least do a little bit of intel into what's going on internationally. And that really bleeds into my second prediction of 2021, is that we're really going to see this huge emphasis on cross-border data transfers. So in 2020, we had a very impactful decision out of the European Court of Justice called Schrems II that had two really key aspects to it. The first is that it invalidated the use of the EU-US Privacy Shield for sending data from the European Union to the United States. So the Privacy Shield is no longer a lawful mechanism under the GDPR to transfer data from the EU to the US. That court decision also did uphold the continued use of standard contractual clauses, which is a contractual mechanism to ensure that data protection is being upheld for any data that's transferred out of the European Union. But it put a qualifier on that and really recognized that there, in certain circumstances, we could need to have these supplemental measures, and I'm doing this, supplemental measures, that would ensure that data protection is really being upheld for any data that's transferred out of the EU. So why is this impactful from a global perspective? You know that Schrems' decision was really focused on data transfers from the EU to the United States. However, I think it's really highlighting this challenge and this tension that we're continuing to see in international law, which is that while we have laws that really see borders, data, the digital world, the internet, there are no borders. And so it's increasingly hard to really segment data and maintain it within a certain region. Now, there are certainly ways to do so, standing up server environments, ensuring that your third parties are tethering data to certain regions. But I think we're really going to see this increasing tension with different regions that approach privacy and security from a variety of different perspectives that don't necessarily always align, and then trying to figure out how you can minimize your risk and really continue to run your backend environment the way that it is effective for your business. And so what we really need to be focusing on from a business perspective is, one, am I transferring data internationally? And then two, is that running afoul of any legal requirements that I might have? And how do I really approach that in a way that's going to mitigate my risk? Again, we're not in a zero risk area. There's always going to be risk. The law is evolving so quickly in this space. There's a lot of unknowns. So it's really going to be key that you sit back and sort of take that strategic approach to how you're moving your data around the globe and understand when it moves to a certain jurisdiction, is that going to create obligations in the original jurisdiction for that data? Is that going to create obligations in the new jurisdiction? And really making sure you have a strong strategy around that. So my main predictions for 2021, it's going to increasingly be an interesting world that we're moving into. It's one that I certainly find very fascinating. I'm very excited to be being able to provide services in this space. I'm really excited to be part of such a dynamic team that is able to really get into the weeds on these issues and provide that core advice and that that counsel that's really necessary in this space. So check us out on our website, check out our blog to follow all of our updates to the law, to the various policy changes that we're seeing in this space, and happy Privacy Day, everyone.